start. Let's run it.
All right.
Right, so how I usually go, I say I'm Jay Lakes. She'll say her name. He say his name. She say her name. Then you say your name.
Pull up, son.
And then we'll do the fantastic facts and foolishness. Count us down, my brother. It is now 7 o'clock on the dot. Let's ride.
Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jay Lakes.
And I'm the Rice Man.
I'm Dee Dee Sherelle.
And I'm Shamar Jones.
And welcome back to Fantastic Facts and Foolishness.
Let's go.
Let's go. So today we have a special guest.
Yes,
his name is Shamar Jones. We got Shamar in the house.
Yes, sir. Introduce yourself.
What's up?
Hey, guys, girls. I am Shamar Jones. I hail from the great city of Atlanta.
Okay.
Hey, baby.
And Red Clay up there, too. That's right.
All day here in Columbus, man, doing a little work around this place and everything. You know, met these fabulous people and everything. Heard about this podcast and just wanted to be a part of what's happening down here in Columbus, Georgia.
All right.
Yes.
So let's you know what, today I'm feeling kind of froggy, and let's get into something that some people are into, some people are disbelievers, some people are doubters, skeptics, but let's get into some conspiracy theories. Yeah. Ooh.
Yay.
All right.
This is good for Halloween. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
October.
Yeah,
goes right along with it. Perfect.
Yeah, we just prepping
Contact
ourselves
the middle
for
camera,
you know what I'm saying, for what's to come. So you got anything that you want to talk about?
Now I will say that I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory, but I do believe there are aliens, and I do believe that they are here now as we speak. And you know, a lot of people choose not to believe it, but I think I've seen a couple of, and I'm not talking about illegal aliens either. I'm talking about like real aliens.
So, like, what they look like?
Wait, you done seen one?
You talking about little green man aliens? I mean, no.
You gotta let us know now.
No, I do. Yeah, so you're saying you do not believe that they're
No,
No, I hadn't spoke on it yet, but I'm all in. Please tell me.
It probably was a dream, but
Well,
I think no, they were like really super. I'm not, because I feel judge me. Why are y'all
no, don't get into it.
I am with you.
I feel like,
Yeah, I feel like they do exist.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say that
it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
I believe they exist.
I feel except for Shamar, but y'all too. But no, I really don't believe. I don't think that they're like green, because I feel like really there are different types, because there are different parts of the universe. So every alien would be different if it comes from a different planet. I think that they start off with the little green men or whatever, but I do believe there are a whole bunch of different species.
I believe that. I can go with that. I mean, because I think, like you say, different planets, different species. It's been different kind of aliens in Area 51 and these different aliens and stuff that we've seen on TV. And then, too, you got to think about it. And I know I'm finna hit you with some of your stuff. We gonna go a little bit biblical. But so in the back in the days in the Bible, when God did frequent the earth and stuff like that, angels came down. You know, within a wheel of burning fire and stuff like that. So a wheel within a wheel of burning fire would be centrifugal force. So that would make an aircraft actually move, or a being actually move. So I believe in aliens.
So you saying the angels were aliens, or you just saying you just believe?
Well, to anything that's on Earth that look up and see something coming, it's alien to us. Yeah.
Why do y'all think it's like they try to make it such an issue that they don't exist? Why not just be?
Well,
open?
I think that nobody wants to start a worldwide panic until you really understand what you're dealing with. I do believe in this instance there are aliens, because if you look back at the hieroglyphics in everywhere across the world, there's some similarities where they have chiseled in stone, and they look the same.
Yeah.
All around the world in a time where there was no social media,
Right.
There was no, I'm going to show you this picture of Africa so yours can look like mine, and I'm in South America, and I'm in North America.
Yeah, these people never met.
Yeah, these people never met. You know, so I'm feeling like looking at the hieroglyphics and things that we've seen chiseled in stone and for what people are seeing today, there's some extreme similarities to what people have seen. So I don't think they're going to spend the time chiseling in stone if it wasn't something that was meaningful in that time and date. So, and looking at what I've seen recently, you know, UFOs and stuff, sightings, yeah, absolutely, I feel there's something to that.
So, all right. So just for me, just as she's describing, there are levels to a lot of these things. And I think one of the main reasons why we don't know more is because they want to keep control of what they have. And that's my take.
The aliens or the people, the powers that be?
Both.
Okay.
Both, because you have to think about something working in tandem. So, and also when we're talking about aliens, are we talking about aliens up under this part of our dome? Because see, we can go into a lot of areas because if you take a look, I think there was a recording of an air battle in the 1600s in which they made a painting of exactly what we would describe as a wheel in the middle of the wheel.
That's some of the things I'm talking about, those type of things from a long time ago.
That's it.
Right.
So I think it's just that where we are right now, you know, we've heard the old adage that the truth is stranger than fiction, right?
Yeah.
And I think for us, it's just a lot of things that we could not handle because you got to take in accordance of aliens. And then, you know, when people talk about dragons, really for the Great Wall of China, if you take a look at the way that even the Great Wall of China was built, it wasn't to keep something from getting out. It was to keep something from getting in.
I absolutely believe that. Yeah. But look how many sightings we've seen about the Loch Ness Monster and things like that. I mean,
believe they exist.
But because we don't know what's down there.
Right.
We got very few crafts that can get down there.
Right.
But I believe that maybe some of the aliens are the powers that be. Or have influence over the powers that be. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute.
Because I believe that the aliens probably have some technology that we do not.
Probably.
And I'm just saying
way
because I haven't seen it.
Wait a minute.
So I'm saying probably, but if they're willing technology that we don't have, that's leverage against people that are in bed with that. I'm pretty sure that if you've experienced an alien, they've helped you to get the power. You're not gonna play it like we have aliens.
Rice man, you mean to tell me that there's a conspiracy theory?
Aliens are one of the things that aliens. I mean,
but we cooking good now.
If we're smart enough to develop crafts that can get to the moon and Mars, why wouldn't other planets or systems be able to do the same?
Right.
I do believe there's intelligent life elsewhere.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I have to play devil's advocate. Do you believe that we've ever been to the moon?
I actually do.
Okay, so then, well, let me ask you this question. If you believe that, and you believe that the president took and called astronauts from a phone line to connect to people that they say are millions of miles away, do you think that's possible?
I believe that you can build radio frequencies strong enough to go a long way.
Okay.
But he called them on a landline.
He called them on the landline. And back in the 60s now, this is the take that NASA has even on that right now.
Landline. So you think...
Yeah, the president, you can watch the video. He called them on the phone. Okay. Good job, fellas.
I didn't even look at it like that.
He called him. Oh my God!
All right,
so phone.
All right. So my next question is this.
But I do believe that we've had technology for a long time that surpasses what we think they had in those times.
Okay.
I do believe
I will agree with that.
I believe that NASA has had technology that hasn't been privy to the rest of the world that they've had for a while. I do believe.
So how did they lose the technology that that they say that we were able to go to the moon? Why did they say they lost the ability and lost that technology? That's NASA's official take on it.
I have no idea what you're talking about now.
No, they're saying that we can only get into lower orbit now. So we can't go. Yeah, that's
don't believe it.
So they're saying we cannot go back.
Yes, they do. So Russia's still sending them there. We still send them there. They're still going now.
It's called lower.
They're talking about building civilizations.
No,
now.
it's called lower Earth orbit. We have
Okay.
not been able to get back out outside
Okay,
of lower
so
Earth orbit.
Shamar.
He called him.
I call foul on that.
Hey, I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking
It was a
questions.
legit question.
you had
I
kinda-
just called BS on that. Not from
But
you.
Are you?
No, I mean, not from you.
Are
I'm
you,
just
you
saying.
familiar with lower Earth orbit?
I am familiar with lower Earth orbit, and I am familiar that there are conspiracy theories that Stanley Kubrick, who was a great filmmaker, helped orchestrate what we know as the walk on the moon. Now,
So you think that we have never been to the moon?
I think we've never been to the moon.
Okay.
That's my.
I don't either.
That's just
I mean,
my opinion.
I don't think that we personally. I don't think we
I
did
don't
either
know
because if
enough
we go
to-
one time, then they ain't gonna lose the technology
That's-
for us.
that
We've
would
been
be
several
really
times.
weird.
Yeah, y'all act like we went once.
I thought
Several
we went-
times.
I mean, we've been there several
thought-
Okay,
times.
I
so
thought so.
question is,
You've
if
been told.
we've been
Right.
somewhere
You've been
that many
told.
times
Right.
and we perfected it, why are we still not doing it?
Well, I think we still are doing it. That's just what I believe. I believe that there are things that in space, atmospheric, there may be things coming through or interference. There'll be asteroid belts. There are things that could prevent things. Because even though just like going to space is just like going down deep into the abyss, you don't know what you're going to get. We've been there before successfully, but don't mean you can go there successfully every time. It's people that have climbed Mount Everest successfully, and there are people that go up there and die, and they don't know why they can't make it. So I mean, I'm just saying that there are things atmospheric that can change in the climate. There are things that can on the ship, on the shuttle that could be problematic. That could be reasons why we're not there anymore. There could be things they're trying to perfect. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying I don't know that that's the truth. That's what I'm saying. I don't think either of us, any one of us, know
I don't think
that that's the truth. We can suspect, we can deduct with reasoning, we can do a lot of things, but I don't think either one of us absolutely.
Oh man, well that's why it's conspiracy theory. But I just
no.
would not believe that in 1960 somebody damn built a souped up damn Chevy, a souped up Chevy, and shot that mug up into the damn out of the Earth's atmosphere to the moon, sat on the mug, called back down, waved at everybody. And then everybody's not up there now.
But the Wright brothers also built the thing that we never thought could happen, and fly and come back and land on Earth again, and everybody lands safely. There's somebody who built the Model T Ford that was able to crank up
That
and drive
drives
around
on
without
Earth.
horses. I'm just saying. It's a lot of things.
But still, in those carvings that you got, there's still aliens and spacecrafts on those carvings.
I'm just saying there are a lot of
So where
things
did they come from?
that we thought could not be that we've done. That's all I'm saying.
But just on the other side,
Yeah.
when we talk about flight and things of nature, the Wright brothers did not invent it.
You're right.
They found the technology behind it.
And we know
this
that
is
somebody else actually built
correct,
it.
because even when it
I'm
comes
with
to
you
the
on that.
Egyptian hieroglyphics, there's clear depictions of aircraft, things that appear like
right.
helicopters and all of
Agreed.
these things. So
Yeah.
I am with her.
But the Wright brothers were involved in something that we all can get on. We couldn't get on the more than the hieroglyphics.
Involved.
But right now, I know I can go to Delta and get on a plane and go to, and I've done it. I've got on the plane and went to Vegas, California,
Right.
and places. I know I've done that.
Well,
That's
tell
all
them-
I'm saying.
well, tell
that
them-
I know it happened because I was on the craft.
Well, tell them hang
Y'all
a left
understand
and
what I'm
carry you
saying,
up to the moon. I don't.
If y'all, I'm
That's-
telling you
to
something
me-
that I have done.
To me, that's just like even with the same people with the submersibles. What it was 5 people that first of all, when you go down there and you go too far, pressure. It's pressure.
And if it come up too bad, you catch the bends.
Yeah, but the
you
pressure.
up on the inside.
I mean, I really think that I really do believe in the far as
Right.
I don't think that we ever been to the moon. I think that was just completely bogus. I'm not buying a share
Where
of
do you
that.
think the people was
I
at?
think that was just bullcrap.
I mean,
I just
where do
call
you think
bullshit.
they
I
was
have
at?
seen things that when they show that one boot print on the moon, and they show the real shoe size of the dude that did it, they ain't the same. Maybe there was big boots that could be heavy. I don't know, but it's a lot of reasons.
How do you
I
get?
can understand people believe
if they
that
floating
it wasn't
around?
there.
If they floating around and everything, How in the hell do you get that flag to stick in the earth? Yeah.
How
much weight do they put
They
on?
had super glued it in there.
Yeah, they super glued it. Shit, that motherfucker gonna come up.
Listen, we don't know how gravity works, Fred. None of us are like that. I know I can go out there and stick a pole. All right, we started up. I'm squeezing through. And we about to get drunk up again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, what I was saying was, I believe I can go out there and stick a pole in the backyard, not deep enough, and it'll fall over. And if I stick it deep enough, it'll stay in now. That's all I'm saying. You can do the same thing on the moon.
Okay.
So you're assuming that the gravity will pull something that's deep enough out. So you're making an assumption based on what?
Based on the fact of simple damn logic. If they got hold on, hear me out now. Don't interrupt. Let me talk. If they walking around and they floating and they gotta bounce every step, they floating along the way. So nothing is sticking. So that means hold on, that's right. But you taking an object that's not from the moon, you stabbing it in the moon.
Deep enough.
How deep do you think that damn pole was? A flag was?
How do you know?
That's all I'm saying. I'm going by what I see. I'm just going by.
How do you know how deep they stuck it?
Hey, I'm saying it won't stick.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying. It won't stick.
He's in the physics, and he's a smart guy.
I'm just saying it won't stick. I
mean, Hey, you smarter than me.
All right, so for me, right, I totally believe what she's saying, because this is the thing that we have to understand about aliens, and when we're talking about this technology traveling to the moon. There are beings, whether you want to call them aliens, let's call them beings. Or
They're alien to us. So we call them aliens.
Entities, whatever you choose to call them, that have this knowledge, right? But this is my thing. I'm sorry. This is my thing about the entire thing when it comes to space, right? What is the true definition of space? Because we've spent a lot of time exploring what's up, but we have not spent a lot of time exploring what's down.
Yeah. I think that we determine space is something out of our atmosphere.
Well, just me, just asking a question, right? Just asking a question, right? So, do you believe that there are beings or entities in the deep waters?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. All right.
I do. You?
Yeah, absolutely.
We continue to go down there and find new species all the time.
Right.
That we've never seen before.
The Loch Ness.
Okay. And we have not. That's unexplored technology.
What if I ask you this question? We've been looking for these extraterrestrials or these beings or these entities to be walking on land. What if their bases are in the water?
That is a great question.
Right.
And I'm sure that there are people that are as interested in this as we are that are looking. We won't know the answer right now, but I think that's a viable thought that they could be underwater. I agree.
I believe
about underground?
Underground.
I believe underground too, because the underground caves.
I never thought
believe them
about
them skinwalkers be in them cave systems and stuff like that.
Stuff that we haven't explored yet. Of course.
You ain't heard of skinwalkers?
There are caverns and caves that we don't even understand.
Skinwalkers.
What the people? I would not.
They be out there in
You talking land of the lost skin?
Out in the west.
Out in the west, it's like what, Nevada and stuff like that. You never seen the Skinwalker?
No, I have not. Please
They got a place
explain
called
it.
Skinwalker Ranch. They really believe that these people, that there's entities that live within the cave system.
Okay.
And they come out and they can control your mind. They can freeze you. Say like you look at them and then you get froze and everything like that. But they can be inside your thoughts. But I believe it's.
I believe in all of that stuff, but I never until you really had touched on it below. Nobody really wants to. Well, for me, I think I feel safer thinking the sky and it's below and around That was the first time.
But I'm just saying, if he can conceive this thought, there are people out there who are paid to research this. They've conceived that thought.
Right.
I'm just saying that we just are not privy to whatever information. But I do, like you said, people out there, people who are native to a land, if they stand by something so strong that they've seen, or they understand, or they know,
right,
and they're native to that land, and you can look at them and tell them that they ain't pitching no BS. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I tend to believe native people to their land when they say something so vehemently.
Do you believe
so
in
strong.
Bigfoot?
So
I think there may be something out there that people are
I
seeing.
think that there is a species that belong to them, and this is the one thing that I'm thinking about. Good people, just hear me out. Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
I'm
Just hear
with
me
you.
out. Just hear me out.
With-
Right now, when you talk about people that are indigenous to
That's
a
right.
land, now if you notice something, most of the secrets that we'll know about common day North America, or Turtle Island, as some people
Turtle Island.
would
Yeah.
term
Yes.
it, right?
Yes.
The people with the knowledge are no longer here. So in order for them to keep the knowledge hidden, and the way to get in touch with these entities and to know all these things, if you remove the people that know, then you have no one to tell the correct story. Then you get false information, get everybody believing something that's totally outlandish, that does not make sense whatsoever. And then that theory then becomes the truth because you have no one to refute it. Yeah. Now, when it comes to what we were talking about with gravity and things of this nature, is gravity really real? Are we?
I have never personally tested the limits of it.
Okay, well then, I'm gonna ask you this
Right.
question, right? So, in theory, the Big Bang Theory, it discusses, out of atoms and all this stuff meshed together, banging together, and everything like that. And that's really the same theory that the Hadron Collider for CERN is really based off of, right? But with that, if we're on a rock traveling so many billion trillion miles an hour out in space instead of turning, how does the ocean stay where it needs to be?
Gravity.
Really?
That's the answer. That's
really
the answer that you would hear, because there's atmosphere that keeps things together.
Okay.
In a place.
Right.
So the logical, the physiological answer would be
we get what you mean.
Gravity.
But this is the thing. It's a theory.
But it's also, if you believe that people have flown high enough to test that theory.
Okay.
If you believe that in NASA, when they get in these things and test the gravity, when they go in there, when they do the G-forces, when they go out and test these things, if you believe that any one of them is telling the truth,
right,
that has been tested and proven,
right,
it's no longer a theory,
right,
at this point. Gravity is no longer a theory. It's been proven. There's some things that people say that hasn't been proven unless you just don't believe any of that. Then it's a theory to you. I can understand that.
Okay. So next question. So the oceans stay in place. So if we're on a spinning ball out in space and we're traveling these many million miles, why would the same sky that was described in ancient times be the same sky that we see with the same stars?
But there is no sky. There is no end. It's just where the light from the sun shines and you see it blue in the daytime and you don't see it at all at night. There's no sky. You can get to it and say, look, this is the sky. I can touch it.
Really?
So there is no sky. There's just space.
All right.
So, but let me ask you a question. Sure. If there was no gravity, why, when we walk to the mailbox, walk to work, walk anywhere, walk at the park, we don't just lift off and fly away? We stay on the earth, so why can't the water stay on the earth? I'm just asking a legit question.
Okay.
When your car drives, it don't just float out into space when you're going to work. Okay. It stays on the ground, correct?
That is correct.
Correct. So what keeps us on the ground?
Well, the same
thing that keeps the water on the ground, correct?
Okay.
I'm just asking.
I understand.
If y'all have a anything, I'm just asking.
I floated away a couple of times.
I don't know how to answer the question.
My thing, I don't have an answer for that, but I just don't believe in gravity on the moon. I just think the moon landed bullshit. But far as the other
legit,
far as the other thing go with the water, I absolutely have I'm drawing a blank on that one. I can't figure that one out.
But the only thing I'm saying is that if we so gravity is a proven point. I can accept that because this is the only thing I'm saying. Gravity is a proven point. But to believe, for me, that we are on a ball spinning and hurling through space when all of these things remain consistent and constant, right? Because, if we're on a ball traveling through space, I can look up and see the sun, and then in the same atmosphere, take a look and see the moon. If we are on a ball traveling through space, that does not compute. It just does not. So gravity is a true thing, but the essence of what we've been taught, what we've been programmed to think, I don't think that the Earth that we know now has been described to us in a proper way. That's just my thing.
So that's people that are describing flat Earth. So people describing round Earth.
He has said flat Earth. So what do you think? Do you think the Earth is flat or round?
Am I a flat earther? That's what you're asking
Yeah, are
me?
you a round or a flat Earth?
I'm a flat earther.
My man.
I'm a flat earther.
Okay.
I mean, because it said in the Bible, the firmament, you know what I'm saying, the dome, the firmament, and everything like that, and the water below. I mean, I'm all in on that. I don't go with the spinning wheel of all that. That just,
Jerry gonna go against anything anybody said away.
No,
it don't matter what they say. He against it. He don't want to believe nothing anybody say.
No, I believe we've been lied to. I don't put no stock in the shit that.
Can I say something then?
Yes.
Have you ever had a magnet and a piece of iron or metal or whatever like that? You can pull it so far and it'll go back to it, right? Because the gravitational pull is magnetic is with the sun as well. So if you pull it further enough away and let it go, then it won't stick back. But if it's far enough where it is, you can get it just far enough. Which is gravitational pull. It'll go back or it'll stay where it is and won't go any further. There are things that we can prove on Earth with magnets that will prove gravitational pull, that will prove magnetic. What you don't see magnetic fields, do you?
No.
But you know if you get close enough and you let go, these things will stick together. They'll stay together.
Right.
We can't see it, right?
Nope.
No. So with the sun and the planets, there are things called gravitational pull that you don't see. You can't wave your hand in front of you. You can't see. But you know it keeps you at a certain distance that when people are believing that it's getting closer. That's why you see climate change. Things aren't remaining consistent to what they were. There are things that are changing.
Right.
Everything is not the same as it was in BC times. There are things that's hotter now. There are things that are changing now. I'm just saying some things you can prove with magnets. You can prove here. You can prove on Earth. That will stay the same in space. But what do I know? You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. You said on Earth that'll stay the same in place? There's no gravity in space.
We're talking about gravity that's proven on Earth.
Yeah.
And when we get to a certain place, it's less of it.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, zero gravity. Yeah.
So, there are people who skydive and people who get high enough that can attest to it unless it's just all a lie. Unless everything that people have been high enough to say that this is true, it's just all of an elaborate ruse.
I believe a lot of it is.
I'm just saying it could be. I just don't know.
Is zero gravity underwater?
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. We got live on the show. There's zero gravity underwater.
Now, this is the thing. There are theories out there that say that most of what we have been filming for as the International Space Station and things of that nature has been done underwater. That is a possibility, the one I cannot refute.
Ooh, that's deep right there.
I'm out.
Aqua Boogie, baby. That might be some parliament falling down there. Aqua Boogie.
Really thinking about this now, when astronauts train, they train in an airplane when they go up and they fall to create zero gravity, right?
Okay.
That's the only time that they can really say that, for space travel and things of this nature, that happens. But most of their training happens underwater.
There are a lot of training that happens in space centers at NASA. Have y'all ever been to the skydiving place?
Yes.
Up in Atlanta, you jump out and you can just hover.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that happen here, but they very well could be true. I have no knowledge in this sector, and I will bow out gracefully.
I like these people.
I don't know.
Okay, but
well, you don't know, but
we was on. If you said you're a flatter, so let's go back. Are you a round or a flatter? What do you think?
I mean, the pictures that I've seen show a sphere.
Okay.
That are taken from a high altitude. Could all be a lie. There could be things that are drawn, whatever like that. So, When we look at on telescopes and you see the Earth, when you see the moon, what does it appear to be? Does it appear to be a sheet of paper, or does it appear to be a sphere?
What you thought?
A sphere. I'm asking.
It appears to be a sphere.
That doesn't mean a circle. It can be an oval.
A sphere.
When you look up at
all kind of keep an eye on it.
Okay, it is recording.
Okay.
I don't know where we're gonna come back in, but at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A sphere, brother.
All right. A sphere.
Okay.
A round or oval thing that's a sphere.
Spherical.
Yes, spherical. Round, oval.
Okay.
There we go.
So let me ask you this. All right, so okay, so we flat earthers here. I'm a flat earther. Any more flat earthers?
I think she's undecided. She just don't want
I
to
don't
say
know.
that.
You're a
I'm
flat
just gonna
earther.
go
I am
with
a
what
flat
I was
earther.
taught in school.
You
I'm going with what they taught me in school.
She's been indoctrinated.
Yeah, you
Yes,
taught in
I'm
school
being
that.
brainwashed.
Some things they teach us is real. I mean, not everything they teach us is real. Not everything.
Yeah.
But you all talk to a person that also believes in aliens. So I'm not an absolute person that does not believe in conspiracy theory, because I said it first.
And that's a big stretch. I'm gonna tell you, that's a big stretch for you. I was so proud when you said you believe in aliens, dude. I'm about like passed out, bro. I wanted to hug you right then. That wasn't the moment. This man right here, boy, I'm telling you, he do not believe in nothing but Jesus Christ.
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Other than that, far as anything like this, conspiracies or whatever, I'll let him explain that. But
Okay.
anything like that, boy, if you say that that the sun and the damn moon be up at the same time now, it's always been like that. It's always been like that.
Some things I can debunk just because of knowledge and being able to read and understand.
Ooh, it's plenty of stuff out there written though. You going about one written thing?
Listen, that I believe. I ain't said I went to one source.
Oh, okay.
When you write a book report, you don't go to one source. You go to multiple sources. But some things that I believe, because based on what I've seen and I understand and I've learned. Mm-hmm. Some things are easy to debunk, and some things are not. Some things I have zero answer for, and I'm completely at a loss because it's completely over my head.
Okay. So what do you think about? Okay, so what do you think about Antarctica?
It's cold.
It's cold in Antarctica. What do you think? Have you read anything or heard anything about Antarctica?
I don't like cold places. I'm a tropical girl, so I do go with this cold. I don't know anything about it.
Okay, so So you believe? Well, you read anything about Antarctica?
So I do believe for us Antarctica. Antarctica is a gateway to other lands.
Okay.
Don't jump on me again, good people. Right? It's a gateway to other lands. So General Byrd, right?
I know.
General Byrd,
Yep.
right? Has taken pictures. He's done explorations in Antarctica, in addition to writing a journal, which mysteriously disappeared within recent years. Okay? So, when it comes to Antarctica, I do believe that there are other lands past Antarctica. I do believe that they put the UN treaty in place that we will never access what's past those gates.
Yeah, I actually watched some videos and stuff on it too. And according to one of the videos I watched, according to him, when he got there, when he actually made it there was already Russia was there.
Correct.
in Germany and other countries, but they were fighting for a position with these different entities and people that be there for like technology and to learn stuff that they was gonna take back. But it's just the entities that are there on the other side of that ice wall or would be alien to us, but they were supposed to help with our technology. So I have read about General Byrd.
So you saying that when you were saying that Russia and who?
Germany, Russia,
were there and they
China.
were...
Yeah, they had flags and stuff there. They had
Right,
vehicles.
and
They
they
fighting
were
for control of this space.
Right. With
Well,
the entities
trying to
or
claim
the
whatever's
aliens
there.
that or beings that were already there?
Well, yeah, the thing about it, yeah, they were already in contact with them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that they held back on telling us that because that would just shatter everything that we come to believe in, and it'll break the facade of things. The same way that I feel like this about it. The same way that we know that black nobility did exist. Do we agree that did you believe?
Absolutely.
Do you even believe that they had the kings
Absolutely.
and stuff in England were black and stuff like that? Do you believe that at all?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that can be proven.
Okay. So with that can be proven. We can't prove that Robert Byrd, General Byrd, went to Antarctica.
All right, can I say something?
Oh, but let me finish. Let me finish. No.
Excuse me, people.
So what I'm saying is, even with the same way that they try to tell us that there's no black nobility, we were never showed that in school.
Right,
we were never
right.
showed that.
You
I find that out as an adult.
You are absolutely right.
There's I seen scenes of the Black Prince pub in I was telling your son that the other day, the movie The Kingsman.
Right.
And he actually was the Black Prince. He actually was, because I seen that thing on the same it's on Hidden Coast. And I seen it in the movie.
Right.
But so the same way they did that to tell us so that we wouldn't know that we were kings and stuff of England, of these different places. I feel like they keep that knowledge sacred and away from us, because if we knew what was going on behind the scenes, then maybe we'll advance and we wouldn't need the United States or what people. They couldn't hold us. They couldn't control us. I think it's a control mechanism, but I ain't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Conspiracies are control mechanisms. We're going to agree on that. I have a question. Do y'all believe that there are crazy people, crackpots, people who write something or do something for show, or do y'all think there's anybody out there like that?
Well,
The question is simple. Do y'all believe that there are any crazy people out there that'll write something? So if I say I can go outside and jump in the air, float, and turn into a peacock, a dove, and a turkey, and come back down, and I can do this, and I write a book or something about that, right? I do it, and I look believable, and I believe it so much I can pass a lie detector test. Do y'all believe that that's the truth, or do y'all believe that could be my?
I believe that
I have an issue. I'm just asking.
that isn't a yes or no, because I believe.
So you have never seen somebody crazy, a liar.
Crazy.
You've never seen a liar.
I
okay.
am in an environment where I'm around a lot of people.
And you are. That's the truth.
And a lot of the stuff that they say, some people are like, oh, that's just. But there is truth in what they say. Some of the weirdest stuff, and they always say.
My question is, do you believe it's some crazy people? Do you believe there's liars out there?
Yeah, of course there are liars.
So just typically how I see things, we're talking about one guy's journal, how he did one. I'm just asking, just for the sake of being a pessimist on this, being a person who's gonna. If you say you went to Antarctica and saw some indigenous people and some of them aliens, you're a one guy. I typically, when Bird said it and this guy said and this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy, then you get a preponderance of evidence that says, okay, there's got to be something to this, because there's so many people saying this. But I know some crazy people. I know some people who will elaborate some stories. And we keep talking about one dude. What he said he saw. And y'all saying y'all don't, y'all, nobody really want to jump into those crazy people.
Okay, so.
Well, no, I do know crazy people. I do know crazy people, but you know.
Just for the sake of this cart, because nobody else said they saw it. The Russians, did they say it?
What?
When Bird was down there talking about this, the Russians, the Germans.
It's been wrote on. You can read it.
Did this gateway
You can read it.
Okay.
You can read it.
Then I'm talking from a position and a place of ignorance, because I have not studied this. And I'm just saying, because I don't know. I'm just saying, the only name that I keep hearing is Bird.
Okay.
And I'm just saying for the sake that y'all could it be for the sake of this for this podcast that Bird may not have been telling the truth. Because we talking about one dude.
I say this. I say this. Now, when you were just alluding to people being crazy. Now, this is my take on...
And crazy, I don't mean that to be... but of course, but I'm just...
And this is our disclaimer to all people that suffer mental challenges.
We're not talking about that.
I'm talking about you.
Yes, I'm not
talking about liars now.
Liars.
People who
that like to embellish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
So this is my take on that, is that sometimes we
Steven
may
Regal
never understand what the altered reality looks like in someone's head. Now, if you know it's true, I was in the industry, and I do know that when some people took certain or indulged in certain activities, they could almost see a altered universe and things happening and people walking past them that no one else could see. So when we talk about that, it's just on which trajectory or in which place or in which dimension that person is operating in at that time.
Right. Just because I didn't see it does not mean it wasn't there.
Okay. So for General Bird by far had the most
because we believe this guy. For the sake of this podcast, we believe this
General Bird had the most extensive
Google him.
Extensive journal of the things that he'd seen. Now, this is the other part of it now. The reason why we can't, because they won't let us.
That's the definition of conspiracy.
All right, now, this is the other part. Woo-da-doo.
I love that.
Everyone that has said something or seen something,
they disappear.
Has mysteriously disappeared.
Everyone.
Okay, yeah, all right. So, yeah, how we...
I can't refute that. I don't know that everyone that has something to say about it had disappeared. I have no way to fact check that. I'm just listen.
If they have not disappeared,
it could be true. I don't know. I'm gonna use the woo. I don't. There's sometimes people can say something to you, and you be like, I can't refute it, but I don't know if that's the truth. But for the sake of this podcast, I have not. I want to say for the record, I cannot refute that.
Okay.
I can't.
And that's the thing. And looking at it, we will never. We may never get a chance to understand and see those things. That may be around and those things that push, because we are not talking with the powers that be that keep us from looking at those things, right?
Yes, and I agree. I think that some of the things we can't see because we haven't opened our minds up to see. That's like religion. That's like, I know it's like, but it's still recording. I know that spirituality, some people can't see and feel God because they haven't opened their minds and hearts up to see Him. So I am going to agree with some things that I can't see is probably because I have blinders and barriers up because it's past my belief system.
Yes.
So the same thing with spirituality, God, Jesus. That's why they're atheists, because they can't see it and they can't open up to the fact that something they can't see, feel, taste, touch, that something's there. So I can say that maybe it's I have a mental block past something that I can't believe. So for that, I will say that I am not an expert in this area. And I'm going to say for the record that it could be that it's past my belief system.
I need to ask her a question.
Go ahead.
I have to ask you a question, right? So early in the podcast, when you were talking about these entities, my major question to you, when you experience these things or when you see them, or where were you when it happened?
Sleep, or in my bedroom. It was that night.
In that, because of our projection or our ability to astral project, a lot of people, scientists have said that when we go to sleep, we actually enter into another dimension.
That's in the Bible, that you can astral project. No, I'm just saying that's not a far fetch.
Yes, and
that's not a far fetch.
Go into that. I usually don't talk about it because people will be looking all crazy. But when I was like a kid, my grandmother used to always say I was a beacon. But in my sleep, I often have people that have passed on that I know have passed on, and they come and we talk. And it's not like I'm remembering a memory. We'll talk about them being passed on, and they'll tell me something. And most of the time it really does happen, but a lot of the time.
Move it back in and we can get the blanket. Yes, it is. Yes. Okay. It's a lot of material right here, guys.
All right, so back to
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
back to what you were saying about the. You said your grandmother told you back in the day that she called you what?
A beacon.
A beacon. Okay. All right. So.
Because I love it. I'm a people person, but I have complete strangers that come up to me all the time, and out of nowhere, they'll just randomly start talking to me, telling me all their business. And I'm sitting over here saying, like I might be in the aisle of Walmart, in the animal aisle, and people just, and they, all the time this happens. And I literally the other day had like 3 people at different times come up to me and be like, God told me to come and say this to you. You have like this special gift. And 3 different times. One of them was, if I'm not mistaken, he said he was a pastor of a church, but it was 2 other ladies at different times in Walmart. And it was so freaky, but it was so rewarding because the first person that said that, I had always been thinking like, am I a good person? Am I doing right? And this man was like, he wants you to know that, you're doing a good job. And that could have just been randomly like just saying that to anybody. But the things that was on my mind, this person literally came and answered a lot of those questions. And I felt so, it was like this feeling, a tingle that had came, because I hadn't even met this man before. We were in line together, and he walked out of the store with me, and he was like, excuse me, random. And usually I'm just like, oh, what the hell you want? But we started talking. He was like, I had to stop and tell you this because it's not me. I had a higher message to come and tell you. And it was after him, it was 2 other people at different times.
Spot on.
Right. And it was so powerful. Like, I can't even explain the feeling that it was just amazing.
So do you have dreams sometimes?
I do.
Tell us how that works.
I remember when I was younger, my great grandmother had passed away. And I remember waking up and looking at the edge of the bed, and she was standing there. And my family calls me Nene. So she had came around and she was like talking to me. And I was like, well, Grandma, you're not here. And she was like, I want you to know, Nene, I'm always going to look out for you and you're going to be okay. And it was like, I knew she had passed on, and she was speaking to me as if not like she's still here, that she had passed on. And I've had several people that I have lost in my life. A friend of mine that committed suicide, he came back to me, and I was just like, because it weighed so heavy on me. I wasn't there. I felt like I wasn't there for them at that time. And he was like, there was nothing you could have done. And we had a whole conversation about him passing on, and this is what he needed to do, and don't worry about him. And it's been times that people have told me, this person is not for you. Be aware of this person. And it played out that I found out that that person was not for me, or just different things. So, and these aren't like memories. These are people actually having conversations with me in that moment. But once I wake up, as the day goes on, it's a lot of times I can't remember any of it. It's like I'll remember bits and pieces, and I remember someone at one point was like, I need to keep a pen and paper by my bed so I can write it down. Because some of the stuff I really feel like I should remember that I forgot and I didn't write it down, and it was like really important for me to remember. But because I was like, no, because it's kind of scary. I don't want to write down the whole, because not everything was good. And so it's just like, I'm just like, I just brush it off. But yeah, but
believe
that's
that.
all the time.
I believe it.
No.
I believe that possible.
I believe that. I think most of us have had a dream so real that when we wake up, we're like,
Right.
that was real. I mean, from the beginning of time, people have been trying to find people to interpret their dreams.
Right.
To understand their dreams, what they mean. People dream about snakes. People dream about this. What does it mean to me? I'm pregnant. Do what it mean?
Oh yeah, dream of fish.
Right. Yeah, fish. Yeah. I mean, but but there's some times that you have a vision or a dream that is real.
Right.
That I mean, and nobody could make you think in a million years that it wasn't. I do believe that.
Right.
I understand that, and I think that in our minds sometimes, and the brain is sometimes it locks away memories. I think the brain actually records every single thing that you have seen since you were born.
We don't even.
But we can't access. We can't access all the portions of our memory.
That we can
Some
move
things happen
furniture and talk to people
that trigger memories. And the songs, movies, things people say that trigger a memory that you wouldn't have ever remembered had someone not said something, done something, seen something that you said.
Our deja vu.
Yeah. So I believe that. I believe that that dreams are real, and people talk to us in dreams. I do believe it.
Let me check this out. One step further on that
Conspiracy.
right there, because what she say? What she say? But hold on.
That part.
Now, us as people now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm just gonna assume. Well, that's the mother of all errors, assuming. But have y'all ever been in a situation whereas, and it's common, but an older person or somebody may be dying, they might be on the hospice or whatever like that. And then right before they may be in a coma or something like that, they can barely talk. And like right before they die, they start speaking and start talking to people that are no longer on the earth.
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you, my grandmother.
You can do that sometime when you're high.
My grandma, no, I'm talking about for real. Well,
I'm just saying.
You never experienced that.
I'm that person on this show.
You never had anybody in your family like passed that did that.
Yes.
Okay, you seen it happen?
Yes.
Yeah, that was weird to me because
they started talking to their old husband or old.
Yeah, my grandma started talking to. My grandma
right.
started talking to some of some of her kids and family members that we looking around like they've been dead. So I do think that there's a thin veil between that.
I believe that as well.
That between that realm and ours.
But I think the earth is round.
I think the earth is flat.
I go in the flat.
But I believe that.
But how weird is that though? You know what I'm saying? Like that person be in a coma, then all of a sudden they have this moment of clarity. And they seem like they're back to normal, but they're in this like haze fog. You can tell that they're here, but their brain and everything is in a different dimension. So I 100% believe that you do have that power and you have those capabilities because I have actually been around somebody that was passing that talked to people that were already deceased.
I do want to say I'm not saying I am psychic or any, because I don't want to be like, bitch, you ain't psychic. I don't know what it is. I just know that sometimes stuff happens to me. I'm not claiming to be anything other than me. So I don't want anybody
But I believe that. Something, I mean, you can call it visions, premonitions, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we've all seen deja vu.
Right.
We said, this has happened before. This is played out exactly like this before. I remember this.
Or even when you get a feeling something isn't right.
Yes.
Or, like, this isn't, I'm finna go because something isn't going right.
I just think that, we are not supposed to know everything. I think we're just not going to know everything. I think that if you go back biblically, when the serpent was trying to get Eve to get the fruit, he said, God just don't want you to know everything because it's the all knowledge.
Right.
You know everything. You know what he knows.
I think that if we knew everything, we're evil and we would use it for
we're not
our gain.
Supposed to.
Right. But people wouldn't use it right.
Yeah, right.
They wouldn't use it right.
So I just think as human, we are flawed.
Right.
To a point where we just are not supposed to know.
I don't think we can digest it.
I don't think we could.
I think it'll just drive us slap insane. If you woke up the next tomorrow and you know the truth of all, would you be able to help everything? How would that?
So me, right? So listening to her describe just the excerpts of things that has happened in her life, right? Mm-hmm. This is the thing. First of all, we have to have a solid understanding that we are spiritual energy.
That's right. We are.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And every one of us come with a special gift. That's just what happens.
We all do.
But I got a question. Do you guys believe in reincarnation?
I do. I don't believe you ever die. Energy never dies.
Okay, we got the energy never dies. Believes in it.
I definitely believe in reincarnation.
Okay, that's two.
I mean, hold on now. Hold on. Let's get the definition of reincarnation that you mean. For I believe that we go from a physical being to a spiritual being, but we still exist in a realm of reincarnation. I don't believe that I'm gonna come back as a poodle or something like that. Yeah, or a flower or something. Inanimate object. I believe that my soul is going to transfer and go through different realms and all that stuff too. That's what I believe.
How do you explain meeting someone you have never met before and you have such a connection with this person? Like you really know this person. You've never met. I've met several people. I never met them, but our connection is like you are home. I know you. You feel like, and it's not like, oh, you're so cool. It's like, I know you. That is something that has always been real weird to me. It doesn't happen all the time, but everybody has met someone that y'all never met someone.
I get it. I'm with you. I was just thinking in my head. I'm with you. I feel like, but I don't think that. To me, that's not. I think that's just your magnetism to that person or something like that. It ain't got to be an attraction as far as like that's sexual attraction. I think it's just like, okay, y'all might operate on the same type frequency. Like this person, you might know that, okay, but it's something about you that you know what I'm saying.
Familiar.
Familiar. But I can't just put a finger on it and say, hey, this is this or that. But I've had that happen to me before too.
It's real stuff, people.
Yeah,
it's real. It's real.
I mean, sometimes you go to a car lot, you look for a car, and this one car is called out, and this is your car. You can't explain it. It don't have to be a person. It could be an inanimate object that you're thinking like, this is it.
Gotta have it.
This ain't what everything I want, but this is my car, my house, my person I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that there are connections that's unexplainable.
Well, then this is the next thing. My next question. So if we say that there may or may not be reincarnation, then why do so many of our grandparents and older people, when they're talking about a small child and a child does a specific thing, that
say he been here before?
He been here before.
Okay, so
he an old soul.
What is the recall in their mentality to make them to be able to recognize that?
Because I feel like they're saying, this child is too small to recognize or understand this, whatever this is.
Right.
Whatever they said, whatever they've done, this child that's just too smart for a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old or a 3-year-old to be able to see or say this, whatever this thing is. Now, I believe that I believe like Jared that we will all at some point, I feel personally, that we will live with Jesus or otherwise, or God, that we will all be judged. And this is my personal belief, that I don't see coming back as something else. That's just my personal belief. But yes, there are times that you see a kid and you're like, they just too smart. There's no way a child of this age will be able to say or understand or do this thing that he has just done or she has just done. That's miraculous, child. has been here before. I have actually said this about a child before.
Right.
Personally, I've said this child, this baby done been here before.
Yeah.
I can't explain. I feel like we just not going to be able to explain away everything.
Yeah.
What is your take on it?
Okay, so my take on it, I do believe that our energy never dissipates. This is the reason why. Even when you take a look at the Egyptian hieroglyphics, the Egyptians mastered the navigation of death. They mastered the navigation
Of death.
Yeah.
navigation of death.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why I say this, right? Okay.
Blinking. I'll cut that. Sir.
Everybody seated.
And a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we were talking about your belief on this. She asked you a question. What do you believe as far as the reincarnation? Did I capture?
Yes.
Well, so just for me, on the literature that I've read, I really do feel that the Egyptians found a way to navigate the afterlife. I really do feel that way because they had too many, just for me looking at it, too many defined things that they were able to speak of, or a certain way things were needed to be done, or the preparations for kings and queens and things of this nature in order to prepare for their return, right? So that's the reason why I asked the question about when they talk about, this child has been here before, because this is the thing that's really funny. If you really think about this, I just met you, I've known you, and I just met you, but we all have the same understanding of when somebody, I didn't even have to complete it. When I start saying a child, and then everybody says, well, that child act like they've been here before, right? That is passed down knowledge. That is not something that all of us just sit up here and come up with, because our parents had to hear it, and our parents' parents had to hear it from somewhere. So I believe, for me, that they found a way to navigate it. I believe that, maybe sometimes because we don't have the people that were actually there doing it in their culture, they found a way to navigate it. Now, the other thing that I wonder about is when it comes to the indigenous person that was here in North America, right?
We had some discussions about
because
this.
you got to think about this. Now, when it comes to navigating the afterlife, it is said that the pyramids here in North America are older than the pyramids in Egypt.
Have heard that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Have heard that.
Right. So what did these people know here that they understood how spirits and all of these things interchanged within seasons, within specific places within this country and everything? Because I believe for them, again, once a culture has found a way to navigate the afterlife. Now, this is the crazy part. We have the technology now in order to make phone calls, in order to share information. Why was the information about death and all of these things synonymous with the country of Africa, synonymous here with North America, synonymous here with South America?
Anybody before I jump in? I don't want to be the only one talking.
Shit, that deep. That went past my spirit. That was deep right there.
Yeah.
I'll let you take
Yeah.
No, I do believe that some of these things are cultural.
Gotcha.
You pass down what you know. You can't pass down anything from generation that you don't know.
Right.
So there's some things you're going to pass down because that's what you heard, know, and you trust grandmama, you trust mama,
Right.
you trust granddaddy, you trust great granddaddy,
Right.
because that's your knowledge. That's your ancestral roots. And when they funnel something down, that becomes culture, becomes part of who you are, your people.
Right.
Whether it's true or false, that's what you got, right?
Okay.
We said earlier that, how could people in Africa or South America, North America get the same, have the same things, or see the same things. I think we were talking about aliens at the time.
Yeah, drawings and stuff like that. Yeah.
But they all saw the same thing.
That's correct.
With no communication, no social media,
correct.
no internet, no pigeons flying to give you these notes. So I think there's some things that are common amongst people that are unassociated.
Okay.
That you kind of have to at that point say there has to be something to this.
Okay.
I mean, just trying to be logical in this. There are some people that don't believe in the after death. There's Indian or Native Americans, which there were some black Native Americans. We understand that there were Indians that are Indians. We know that people were here before Columbus got here. We're gonna
There were
say
people
All of them.
Columbus got here.
All of
Let's
them.
just be real.
All of them.
We know Indians have hit the peace pipe and seen and talked to Brother Big Bear or whoever they're gonna talk to, or whoever we some people can get there with weed, some people can get there with visions, some people can get there with certain places, some people see things that are specific to their culture.
All right.
And there is no explanation about that. I don't know. There's no answer to how some people see like things.
Right.
Except that there's something to it.
You know something?
And that I will concur that there can't be so many people around the world unconnected that see, feel, think, hear the same thing, and there's nothing to it. I can't go past that because it's past my knowledge level, but I will say that.
I think I got a weird story too. Did you read that book, the Necronomicon that you were referring to, the Egyptian Book of the Dead?
Yes.
You read it through and through.
I did not finish it, but I read a substantial amount of the information, and that's the reason why I'm asking these questions.
Let me ask you. I got a question for
Sure.
you. Did you have any type of weird? Y'all ain't gonna believe this, but it's true. Did you have any type of weird experience while you was reading that book?
I did.
You didn't.
I did.
You did.
I did.
Okay. Tell me what you experienced, because I had an experience with that book that I'm just going to, I'll let you say what your experience was, and I'll throw out mine.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm going to get moved.
Let's go there. All right. So, but this is the thing. I'm an avid reader. So this is what I do know, that with information and with certain books that contain information, there are certain energies or spirits or whatever you want to call them that are assigned to whatever you're reading that can take you down a path.
Agreed.
That you are willing or unwilling to deal
go.
with, right?
Amen.
So, this is my thing, right? Good people, okay? This is Shamar Jones' thing, right? Going through it almost like it alters your thought patterns, and it almost alters what your spirit is receiving. And it can or it could bring things your way, and then all of a sudden you start hearing things.
So that was your experience?
You start hearing things, and then if you lay down and go to sleep, you can start having things visit you in your sleep.
Okay. Okay.
And
Now-
is this
now-
what you experience?
Ma'am, I can only talk about what Shamar.
Okay. That is very deep,
But that's
though.
the
That
reason why
is
for me,
so deep.
I had to put it down. And,
Right.
in accordance to when some people play with Ouija boards.
Right.
Hey, you know who's
I was
not
gonna
going to play with
bring
them?
that up.
Hold on. I got one for you.
Right.
That same book, I had experience. Now, you can talk to my first wife, and you can talk to a couple of more of my friends. I bought that book from Junebug, whatever bookstore downtown. I took that book, and no sooner than I picked it up, I had to go to Selma, Alabama. No sooner I picked that up, I was with my first wife at the time. No sooner than I put that book up, I could not put it down. I could not stop reading. Now, it's a part that, trigger warning, it's a part in that book that tell you, do not say these certain things, because if you say these certain things, stuff will happen to you. So,
Yes.
so when I got to those portions, I glanced over it, didn't say none of it out loud, went to the end. Because they're very practical things that's in there that everyone has in their home or around them that are in that book. Now, I could not put that book down. I went from Columbus, Georgia to Selma, Alabama, all the way back. Now, soon as I got back to from Selma, Alabama, back to Columbus, Georgia, somebody had broke into my house. This is weird because I literally had a house full of pit bulls. Like, one bedroom was full of pit bulls. Hold on. So after I realized, okay, they done broke in my house, my next door neighbor acting suspicious, acting crazy, but I go in there, I had an empty fish tank, and I lifted up, okay, I got $1,000 up under this empty fish tank. They didn't steal that. They stole what we had in the back days, was called a DVD player. They stole that in the TV. So, all right, so they took that. So, I'm sitting up there, all of a sudden, me and my wife at the time, we just start arguing out the blue. I'm like, wait. Me and her, we don't argue like this about no shit. I'm like, something going wrong. I said, something ain't right. I said, I'm gonna test a theory in my head. Something told me, said, man, you draw onto this book too much. I said, let me test this theory. I called one of my friends over. I said, D. He said, what, man? I said, come over here. Come over to the crib for a second. He said, I was coming there anyway. All right. I took and handed him the book. I said, I keep this for a couple of days. I'm going to come back and get it. He was like, all right. What's the deal? I ain't tell him nothing about the book because I just wanted to see how it was going to pan out. If I'm lying, I'm flying. You can ask my ex-wife. That man showed up about 2 days later. I was going to wait 3. He showed up about 2 days later. He said, man, I don't know what's in this damn book, but all hell done broke loose in my house. You can take this shit. You had that book back. I don't want nothing to do with it. Immediately, when he left, I told my wife at the time, I said, look, I said, there's something wrong with that book. Get this book the hell away from me. I don't want nothing to do with this book. I ain't gonna never look at another Necronomicon, Egyptian book of the day. I'm not gonna fool with it no more. Leave right now. Get rid of this damn book. Do you know that when she left out the damn house, my mind visualized the car and seen where she took it and she put it at, and when she came back, I looked at her and she looked at me. I said, this shit weird. She was like, what? I said, you took that book and you dropped it off in the sewer right in front of McDonald's on Veterans Parkway, and you brushed it into the thing. She looked at me, her eyes went like, her eyes was like big as hell, and I was like, it just took the breath. I could literally see that book. Ever since then, some shit, I believe like you, some shit is best not to know, and don't fool. Do not fool with that book. Don't fool with no damn Ouija boards, none of that shit. Because one thing for sure, you can unleash some shit and not know how to put it back. One thing, once you can, all hell bust open and then you can't find the top. I don't fool with stuff like that. That was my experience with the book. I got witnesses. You can ask them. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Well, we're gonna summarize this because we gotta close it down tonight.
Too much fantastic.
In my quick summary, I'm gonna say this about me. All right, where I am spiritually, I understand that my connection with God and Jesus allows me the privilege of the Holy Spirit. And when things bump against the Holy Spirit, I understand that to me, that's not what I need. From the beginning of the time, the serpent came to Eve and said, does God really want you to eat this fruit? Is it that he doesn't want you to eat the fruit? It's a pretty fruit. He just don't want to know what you... Conspiracy started from the beginning of time to debunk what you think you know and give you an alternate version of what could be. And the fall of man happened after that. I trust the Holy Spirit in me because of my connection with God. He gives me the Holy Spirit, which allows me certain discernment that bumps against the Holy Spirit. I know it's not of God. That's my take. And I don't indulge in things or read things or dive too far into things that bump against the Holy Spirit. It's my guide. It's my internal guide that lets me know that what's real or fake, what's counterfeit or what's real. That's why I don't dive into certain things, because the Holy Spirit said it's not real. I follow my God. And everybody has their God. I'm not saying nobody's right or wrong in this. It's just what I do. That's why there's some conspiracy theories that I don't jump into and follow up and run down this rabbit hole, because I've been told by the Holy Spirit that's not for you to do. Everybody has to do what they have to do on their own. My spirit guides me, and I call it the Holy Spirit. The Holy Ghost, and some people in the old church will say that. That's what I do, and I base my life upon that. And I live according to what I should do. I don't chase every rabbit hole, every tail that I could chase, because I spend my life doing that. That's my take, but I do believe that there's some things that I don't know, I should know, and I will probably never, ever know that could be absolutely true.
I think that for
And we're going live at 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay. Well, I will say for myself, I am a spiritual person. I do believe that there is a higher being that is God. And at the end of the day, for me, and what I feel is my purpose is to be on this planet and be the best person I can be.
Amen.
To give love, to not judge anyone. And I try to do that every day. Whether you are Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever, I'm not going to say your God is the right God and that God is the wrong God, because I am not the person to say that. Everybody has to believe and feel what's in their heart. And that's why I just say whatever you feel is right for you. And at the end of the day, whatever you call your God, I think the whole thing about all the religions is be good to one another, love each other, do right by one another. And that's what I hope to do. That's what when I leave this planet, that my energy will leave behind goodness. So just be careful sometimes when you are very religious and you say, I'm such and such and you're wrong. Because I've had people that were religious that come and say, well, what you believe is not right and you'll go to hell and da-da-da. But my thing is, if I'm a person that's so-called not religious and I'm spiritual and I'm saying I love you regardless, and I'm not judging you from whatever you feel in your heart, how are you that are A, B, or C telling me I'm going to go to hell because I'm not believing exactly what you believe? But so be careful of that.
That's right. There is a difference between religious and spiritual.
got that
Right.
got that right. Go ahead. What'd you think, my brother?
So-
Take us home.
In listening to my brother and my sister and yourself, I think it's one thing that we have to remember when it comes to what our understanding of what our spiritual practice should be. It's just I liken it unto this. Every business owner goes into business because they feel that they have and they produce the best product for the people that will consume it. The only thing changes that is when you have bad representation.
Yes.
You're right.
Okay? So when God spoke of us, he said we're fearfully and
Wonderfully made. You believe.
Right? But there are times and excerpts in our life that we've met bad representation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
everything.
Of everything.
Every
right?
religion.
Every religion.
Yes.
Okay? So I think for us, when we look at all of us spiritually, God had given us an innate ability to have discernment. It comes with every one of us.
That's right.
Right? But sometimes the guidance of bad representation causes us to get hurt, causes us to fall away, causes us to get whole,
No lies there.
right? Causes us to turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
So with that, knowing that a lot of times through us, just life is just one constant learning experience, one after the other. The only thing that we have to learn and really just focus on, whatever religion you are in, whatever you believe and everything, because, I can't quantify, what experiences someone has had from bad representation that has put people in a certain mindset.
Yes.
So,
that's right.
I think about Jesus when he says, "He who is without sin, let him
Cast the first stone." You're right.
We know all these things, but when we meet that bad representation will sometimes have our mind and our hearts lend ourselves to negative or bad devices with negative energy that would attach itself to us. Okay? And in that, I think that we always have to ask the most powerful question that I teach people on a daily basis is just, why?
Why?
Okay?
Agreed.
That 3-letter word is the most powerful question that you could ever ask in your entire life. But in that, we have to be prepared for the answer in which we're going to receive.
That's right.
So, and and I will always, I think for, you were saying that you are here to bless people with love, kindness, all of those great attributes and everything. I think one of the things that I'm here on this earth for is just to provoke thought. I really do think that's what my job is. My that's what I feel that, I know what my divine purpose is, but I believe one of the purposes that God has given me in that is that I have to provoke thought, because I want to end my, summation like this. When it came to the Garden of Eden, what was in the Garden of Eden that he was trying to keep out? Why did the Garden of Eden have a gate? Or gates?
Did it?
It did.
He just said, man it.
Yeah, but when he got ready to put Adam and Eve out, there were gates that they were not allowed to enter back into. What was on the outside of it?
You're right.
That's a deep one.
So all that is, I have no. But I feel like you stand for something, you believe something, or you fall for anything.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. The why could have you down rabbit holes the rest of your life.
Hey.
And it could, you have to believe something. Faith is.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So, some people can call it their gut. Some people can call it the Holy Spirit. Some people call it whatever you want to call your compass. Whatever you want to call your moral compass, whatever you want to call it. And we're all different.
Yeah.
And no one here on this panel is trying to tell you what to believe, when to
Not
believe,
at all.
No,
how to believe, what religion is better than the other.
Yes.
I could only give you me.
Yeah.
And he can give you him, and we can all give us each other.
That's it.
But one thing we do need to do is love each other.
That's every podcast we say love. Right. Every podcast we love each other.
That's the common denominator that draw us all together. Will never split us.
Exactly. You don't even have
never split us.
And you don't even have to speak a language. Love is its own thing. It goes above languages, any type of thing. You can feel love. Love is it transitions. It's an energy.
That's it.
So,
that's it. We're going to leave it like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been another podcast of Fantastic Facts and Foolishness.
Love y'all.
Much love.
That was great.
This may have been the best one we have ever done.
I think we have a new member. You did good. You brought like a gem. Because at first I was like, okay, you had came in, you was like,
No.
Barry White. No, just joking. I joke. Listen. Right, because that was not even the subject. Right. Right.
And I love this.
That was awesome.
Man, I'm telling you.
This episode. I ain't even watched it.
But hold on.
I love
It was really awesome.
Boy, that was good.
You brought so much.
I can't wait till you see.
Really.
If you look at
thank you.
When you chop it down, when you I know you gotta chop it down, you gotta edit it or whatever. But yeah, just the end pieces. Man, please, I want to know what you got. Is it a way that you could keep one of all together?
I will piece them all together.
I mean, but keep
out to tonight. I'll do one version.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just worried about because so much gems was dropped. Now I'm just wondering how much was lost. You know what I'm saying?
We'll never know.
Yeah, I know.
When I wasn't recording, I wasn't recording.
I know that.
Go back and get those gems. But tonight, I will send everybody the raw, uncut footage all the way from the end to the end with no mixing, no cut off.
Okay, yeah, because I just want to know what parts that we did.
We cut off the
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But I'm gonna send the raw, uncut footage tonight. They
finna be sick.
Something like
I'm tingling. I'm tingling. I feel good.
Really, I'm serious. It was a feeling.
And it was organic.
Right.
The reason that I liked it the most, it was just. It was good.
Right.
You posed some questions that had us all reflecting. You posed some questions. You said some things that were just like, ooh. Yeah. And there were some things that came out that was we didn't have time to write it down and have a script.
The universe came together and you was brought here for a reason. It was a reason that Lee and I hope she feels it, but it was a reason. Everything happens for a reason. This was so powerful. That was like it was so much. Yeah, it did. The whole time I was like,
it did feel like we bullshitting. It did feel like we.
No, it was like every other podcast.
Yeah.
We did not prepare.
And we had a week or two or a day or two to jot down thoughts, but because no one had a chance to really
go and look in. And I think you heard when we came in, like we was like we really hadn't decided on anything. We're like.
We had to do it from the gut. You got to come back and we got to have him back again on the show. Yeah,
definily before you leave Columbus.
Definitely before you leave. We got to get.
You can sit on somebody's lap.
Yeah, we got to get some footage, some more footage.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Man, this was unscripted. This is what the podcast. Should we even give out topics? Now I think that you know what I'm saying. But
I'm starting to think that we shouldn't because it just happened. We just start flowing.
It's better when it just flows. And there's no direction. Right. It just comes from
organic.
I took cues from what she said. I want to piggyback. But it was no cues. It was just. It just came.
And I think we could have went on for like 4 or 5 more hours.
Yeah, easy.
It was so easy. Because I wanted to hear some more about this book. That is so.
Man, I can call.